You had the Canaanites, who were black.
Yesterday, you showed a 12th dynasty sarcophagi, which is pretty funny considering that the Hyksos were in Egypt around that time.
Hyksos.
It's Hyksos, as in hike, the Armenian that Orion the hunter is after. Aryans, what the pyramids point to. Hyksos.
Who were a white Asiatic people.
Mm-hmm.
This is an image of a Canaanite man with a beard. Okay, this is an image of a Canaanite woman. Okay, also very dark. Clearly looks like a black woman to me. You can see that the male and the female are both the same complexion. Basically, he's about the same complexion as the Egyptian that we see in the other image. This is an image of a Canaanite man with a beard. African people are typically not very hairy, but Caucasian people are. If it's not from within the the continent of Africa, then it doesn't matter. basically, he's about the same complexion as the Egyptian that we see in the other image.
The Hyksos, who were a white Asiatic people. Brain was just his caucasoid brain just couldn't take it. He had to say that the Egyptians were dark-skinned Caucasians.
Okay, I don't care how tan a white person or person of Caucasian ancestry may get. I don't care how dark they get.
So let's look up Hyksos and Hyke and his origins. I'll tell you right here, Hyke became the counterpart of the Greek Orion, Aryan. The people from Arata, Aryans. Hyke was a night hunter. No ancient records documenting Hyke's hypothesis into constellation survive, but Orion, Aryan, Hyke, the Hyksos. Let's look at images. This is Orion the hunter, Aryan hunter. This is from Armenia, a statue of Hyke, the warrior of old, who killed Nimrod with an incredible shot that changed all of humanity and got back the Sumerians, Aryans, back in charge over Nimrod, as described in the Bible, but attested to some kid who snuck up and cut his head off somehow, rather than the Aryans, the Sumerians, the Armenians, the Armenians, the Aryans, the ones that spread out all across the entire scope of the world. And the reason that they're not showing them in here is because they're already there. When they leave, they go everywhere else. Indus Valley, Europe, Danube, Francais. Notice that Levant is a French word. That's strange. Aryans, Aratans, that owned this whole area. See? The Hyksos. All of that. All of North Africa. Aryans, who in 3000 BC owned of all Iraq all the way up through into Turkey, where we find Errata. All of these sites on these ancient rivers, most of which are now run dry in a land that has become a desert. For when you go up into Errata, you find that it's the cradle of civilization. They contain this swastika symbol, this that Hitler equated to Aryans somehow. He did wrong with it somehow, but he sure as hell did equate it with Aryans and Errata and these people from this area that have all the old ancient monoliths like this from ancient and prehistoric times still to this day up in that area. Again, the Hyksos, about Hyke, the incredible warrior with the incredible shot that killed Nimrod. And shortly after, their troops, who are flanking back here in the background, come in and swarm and kill off who was the Akkadians, who had taken over Sumeria, the Aryans, and much later, after the time of the Trojan War, and everyone changing and expulsing at this exact time, in a time of great flood and strife, that had just recently run through brings the Aryan invasion to the area of India that most attempt to deny still at this point, but actually is in effect, that lead all the way back to Egypt, where these people that are very much Caucasian with blue eyes started all of that civilization.